Good afternoon, all. You're listening and maybe watching the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV pregame show, where we will preview today's 1 o'clock matchup of your 5-2 Baltimore Ravens as they head west on I-70 to Cleveland to take on the 1-6 Browns. I'm your guest host, Darian D.H. Williams of the Breaking Command Podcast, which is a D&D football podcast. I don't know, you may or may not have seen me here before, but if not, it's good to meet you. And I'll be here for the next 30 minutes along with my partner in crime, Miss Carita Parks. She'll be on momentarily to discuss this game live from Cleveland. Wole and Ray are out today, so they went to the bullpen for some relief, so we're here. Before we get into the game, let's tackle some of the particulars. Subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just go ahead and search the Urban Sports Scene. And, of course, while you're doing all that, search for the DND Football Podcast, a Breaking Command Podcast. We all in there, too. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. Just hit that red subscribe button to like this video. This show also is being streamed on Bowie TV's YouTube channel and being streamed on the DND Podcast channels as well. And wherever you're watching, make sure you chime in, like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, do all that, okay? Do that. Here's the rundown for this afternoon, where we'll take you to 30 minutes before the kickoff. We'll chat with Bowie TV's Ravens beat reporter, Miss Carita Parks, who is live from Huntington Bank Field in Cleveland. We'll also talk to we'll talk about the Ravens defense going up against Jameis Winston in his first start of the season for the injured Deshaun Watson. We'll talk about the Ravens' keys to victory, and then finally we'll select our Ravens fantasy football selection for today. Now, let me not wait any longer. Let's bring in our guest host, Miss Carita Parks, who is live in Cleveland in her orange. What's that about, Carita?
It's just about what did I think was going to look cute today. I didn't even think about the team. I usually do a better job at that, but I missed today. So forgive me, y'all. Forgive me.
Hey, it's all right. You'll blend in well. Trust me, after the Browns take this beat down today, it'll be very easy for you to get out of the building in Cleveland.
Yeah,
Carita,
that's what I was thinking too. I just be blending in.
Absolutely. Well, first off, you are in the building today. Talk about the vibe in the stadium. What's it feel like? I know it's the Ravens fans do travel well, but what does it feel like over there in Cleveland?
The Ravens fans, like you said, they do travel well. So I saw quite a bit of them in the parking lot. Someone said to me, "At least you have purple hair." I was like, "My hair is burgundy, sir," but he was like, "Close enough." So, it was fun, and everybody's been really nice, if I'm being honest with you. Sometimes you just never know when you go to a different stadium, but everybody's been good. Fans haven't filed in completely yet, so I don't know, what kind of energy they have yet, but I think NFL Sunday is always a good vibe in most places until the game starts.
Right. Absolutely. You know how it is, man. Those fan bases can go at it, as we've seen in the past few weeks. But Carita, before we get into the game and some of the details of the game, what are the notable actives and inactives for today for the Ravens?
Yeah, so most notable is Nate Wiggins. They said he had a shoulder injury and illness and wasn't traveling with the team. So he's out. Marlon Humphrey is out. So that's two big blows to the secondary. I mean, they do get some people back, and Arthur Maulet he's making his season debut. He's coming back from injury, and then Jalen Armour Davis as well is he'll be playing. So they do have some depth in secondary, but when you lose Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins, that's still a big blow. And then David Ojabo, he's a healthy scratch, but he's an outside linebacker, but that's key to the pass rush. So it's interesting. I wonder, I'm thinking in Ngakwe, they've really been playing him. So I'm curious if that's who they're going to put up there as well.
Great. Now, also, do you think this may be an opportunity for the Ravens? Let's just not hold any punches, man. This is a 1-6 Cleveland Browns team where the Ravens should probably feel very confident about being able to beat them today. Do you think this is an opportunity for them to maybe give some guys that, maybe have some ailing injuries or some things that's kind of been lingering, a chance to kind of take a break and get rested up as they make this the final back half stretch for the playoffs?
I mean, I think you have to. You can't. Marlon Humphrey, he was injured last year, and I think that he came back too soon. So he was never truly recovered from his injury. And the way that he's been playing, lights out, you can't really afford to not have him out there down the stretch. But I don't think this team should be too cocky about the Browns, because when you get a little too cocky, they're 1-6. It can be a trap game, and they are coming in with a new quarterback, a new play caller. So they could play inspired football today. So I don't think that they should get too lax. But I think that you do have to take care of those guys who are injured, because they will be needed more so down the stretch.
Well, let's get into that. I mean, you mentioned that, 1-16 with the brand new quarterback starting this week, Jameis Winston. Do you believe that it could be possibly a trap game? Like, we should go back and really define what a trap game is. Like, really tell the people, do you think this could be a trap game for the Ravens?
I don't. So I think that the Ravens, just the way that they've been playing, no matter what, when their back has been against the wall, they've been able to make it happen and get the win. The only reason that I am saying that, and the only reason I have some concerns about that, is because of the fact that they do have a new situation. So there are some unknowns going into this game. Like, what's this offense going to look like with a new play caller? Jameis Winston is a pretty, Jameis Winston has an arm. So, and the pass defense hasn't been the best. And then I would also say, most importantly, I would say the Ravens are coming off a Monday night game where they really had maybe one real hard day of practice, but Friday was a walkthrough like it always is. And Wednesday, they kind of had an easier day, but that was more so for recovery, not because of the team that they were playing. So just my only concern would be like, are they ready physically to come out here and do what needs to be done? Because all these games in their division are physical games. No matter what, the Browns is always a physical game. So, do I think the Ravens will win? Yes. But am I concerned that, you can't get too lax? Absolutely.
Well, definitely. I mean, you have the Steelers, who are also 5-2 in that division. Cincinnati is finally finding its way and surging. They're now 3-4, and then the Browns are 1-6. But like you said, in every division matchups are always going to be tough. They know each other. They're going to play each other well. Exactly. So you definitely feel like it's going to be a tough game. Let me ask you, with Jameis Winston getting the start today after Deshaun Winston tearing his Achilles, I mean, this is Jameis's opportunity. We've been talking about it for the past couple of years, with Jameis really getting the opportunity to kind of start. Now he'll get pretty much a whole half of a season to get a look. How do you think they stop Jameis Winston today? Like you said, he's explosive when he can be. How do you think they stop him?
Yeah, I think the pass rush is going to be key, especially because he can throw downfield. Now, he can be also prone to some interceptions too, but Jameis, he can throw down the field. So I really think the pass rush is going to be key in this game. Don't let him get to the point where he can get the ball out of his hands. Like, make him rush, make him do those short passes, make him scramble a little bit, just put the pressure on him. I think that's going to be extremely important.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, I think Jameis has always been prone to turn the ball over, right? He had that 30-30 year in Tampa. So that was kind of his thing. Like, he may give you 4 touchdowns, but he might give you 4 picks as well. So to get a defense an opportunity to kind of eat. And also, quick shout out to everybody watching live right now in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button, comment wherever you are. We'll get some of these questions out here to you as well. But we kind of covered all the injuries. We covered who's inactive and active. What are some of your keys today for the Ravens? Give me about 3 keys that you think the Ravens will have to hit on to get that win today in Cleveland.
Yeah, I think we talked about one of them, which is, I think defensively, the pass rush is going to be really important this game, because Jameis does have something to prove. You know what I mean? And so when someone has something to prove, they're going to go out and try to play their best game. I mean, any quarterback's going to try to play their best game, but this is his first game in, a while. So he's going to try to show that he could take command of this offense, because he will be the quarterback for the remainder of the season. So I definitely think he's going to come out trying to prove a point. It's going to be up to that defensive front to slow him down. I think that the Ravens just need to keep doing what they have been doing, because it's been working, which is, running the football. And then when the running is not going well for them, I say, they've been passing the ball and they've been using a variety of their weapons, and that has been very key to their success because you don't know necessarily who you need to defend at any given moment. So I definitely think that would be a key to big victory for them. But also, you got to slow down Miles Garrett. Like the offensive line has been a question here and there throughout the season. But honestly, after the first few games, they've been playing very well. But they still got a lot of new young guys on that offensive line, and a guy like Miles Garrett could take huge advantage of that. So definitely cannot let him get to Lamar Jackson, because that's what he's trying to do.
Right. And you mentioned Lamar Jackson, who is on an MVP pace this year, 15 passing touchdowns. He's running the ball effectively. Derrick Henry is running the ball, man. I mean, talk about this Baltimore offense. I mean, they're literally taking this offense everywhere and beating up on people. Talk about this Baltimore offense a little bit, Carita.
They are dangerous. They are dangerous because I feel like, they were still trying to find their groove in those first two games that they lost, because I think the impression would be like, okay, you have Derrick Henry, you just pop him into an offense and boom, there you go. But I think they had to figure out how to best utilize him and how to best utilize Lamar and just all their weapons on offense. And I feel like ever since they figured that out, they have been rolling. I mean, for the most part, the Ravens have been able to put up at least 40 points in a game. At least 30 points, I should say, in a game. Last week, they put up 40. But this offense has been extremely high-powered. Derrick Henry just changes the game. I mean, he just changes the game. That's all I can say. And one thing Lamar said is that defenses are trying to stop Derrick Henry before he gets started. And so in those situations, it helps Lamar, find his receivers, find his tight ends. And that's been working well for him. So like I said earlier, they just have so many weapons. And any given game, it can be anybody. Like 1 week it was Zay Flowers. The next week it was Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews. It could be as Isaiah Likely for all we know this week. It's just been anybody's game. And then Derrick Henry, they've been able to really unlock him in that fourth quarter when the defenses are tired and they've been stacking the box. And that's when he's been having his biggest success, aside from that, I think it was the Bills game where he came out the gate with that 81-yard run. But other than that, he's been fulfilling that role as the closer, which is what they brought him in to do.
Now, Carita, I got a fan question that was just sent to me. And he asked, would it be a National Tight Ends Day? Do you think one of the Ravens tight ends will score a touchdown? Because I have a few minutes to put in my bet.
First of all, don't blame me how your bet goes. But of course, I mean, Mark Andrews is his guy, is Lamar Jackson's guy. And I expect Mark to continue finding his way. He wasn't getting the targets at first, but they've got him in the mix. So, and I mean, there's still Isaiah Likely, and, him and Lamar have great chemistry as well. So I think any one of the Ravens tight ends can score a touchdown. All right,
so listener, you heard that. So you got a couple minutes. So not from Carita, because she's media. She can't even give you that. But from me,
right, that was not advice. That was not advice.
Until we get a sponsor from them, then it's not. No, so listen, like you mentioned Lamar, and Lamar is now ascending into those passing conversations, right? The whole knock on him has been he's been a running quarterback, right? But he now is a passer who can run. And I think now people are finally starting to accept that, now that he's possibly looking at his third MVP and he's not even 30 yet. Like, this is crazy the way that he's playing. So I'm actually anxious to really see, could this be a game where he really sets himself apart from some of the other possible MVP candidates? Especially with them having the number one offense, having one of the number one rushing offense, top scoring offense. Could this really be a day where Lamar Jackson really comes out the gate fast and really puts up a lot of points on this Browns defense?
I mean, it definitely can be. He put a lot of points up last week, and it was, and so I definitely think he can do that as the Browns defense when it comes to stopping the pass, I don't think it's as strong there. So he could definitely do that. They have to start fast, by the way. That is definitely important because last week they went down 10-0 and they were able to come back. Defense made some key plays, but that's just not how you want to play a game. Like, you want to control the game. So I think that they'll definitely want to start fast. And, Lamar said it a couple weeks ago. He wants to keep his foot on the gas. So he's going to try to score as many points as he can, as long as they let him.
As long as they let him. And this could be a game where if he get out the gate early, he may not play most of the second half. He may be able to get a little bit of that rest too in the late in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they might do that in the fourth quarter because I think last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like in that fourth quarter, they put Josh Johnson in. But the thing is, this team can't get that comfortable because their fourth quarter defense has not been that great. So, they were up quite a bit on Tampa Bay, and in the fourth quarter, Tampa Bay, that's where they scored majority of their points. So the score wasn't really relative to how that game went.
They had some garbage stats at the end, but did get it back. And now also too, I want to bring up a point of emphasis. This is a crazy stat that I found out last week when watching the Tampa game, is that out of 18 onside kicks this year, only 2 have been recovered by the kickoff team. And they've both been against the Baltimore Ravens, where Harbaugh is a former special teams coach. What's that about, Carita? Like, has there been any emphasis on that this week?
But I think people say that, but he's not a special teams coach right now. So can't really blame that on him. However, yes, it has come up this week. Special teams coordinator Chris Horton, he did address it, and also Coach Harbaugh addressed it. He said they're going to make some changes on the hands team because they do recognize that they are the only team where 2 onside kicks have been recovered. And then Chris Horton kind of mentioned the same thing, and he said they're going to make some changes, but also that he's confident that they will figure it out.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I also think with games like this against teams like this where them, this is a game where you want to lock everything in. We want to limit mistakes, limit penalties, off the ball things. We want to make sure that we lock it in. We have some comments here. Somebody said Jameis might be a problem today. We will see. I don't know.
I don't think we could just write him off. Jameis is definitely a streaky quarterback, but when he has a good game, he has good game. So that's my thing. I want to make sure, and I'm hoping that the Ravens are not coming in this game like, oh, it's Jameis Winston. Like, no, I still think we need to take him seriously.
Yeah, and Carita, with that orange on, you might be able to go on the Brown sideline and get some in-depth information there.
I might be able to. Might be a slide over there, right?
Right.
I really can't believe I wore brown today. I mean orange today, my bad.
It's all right. Hey, look, you're killing it right now. You're looking great on camera. The fans are loving it like you do every week. Even if I be watching, I be checking in. Even though I'm a Commanders guy, I still make sure I watch and support. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see out there
information from
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's time for the fantasy. It's okay, baby. It's time for the fantasy football portion of the show. Do we have a fantasy football play this week? Who you think will set the tone this week for fantasy? Who do you think will ball out? What do you have on that side?
So I'm so tempted to go with Mark Andrews because it is National Tight End Day. I know I just have to pick one, but I feel like I am.
You can do what you want to do. It's your prerogative.
Okay. I think this might be a Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely day. I want to add Isaiah Likely back in there because he's kind of like taking a back seat. But sometimes that's good because then people are probably going to be looking at Mark Andrews, and that allows Isaiah Likely to get open. So I think it's going to be a tight end stack.
Someone mentioned Justice Hill might have a day. Everybody's been keying on Derrick Henry and Lamar. Yeah. Justice Hill might have a big day, and I see he has been actually. Like, I love his game out of the backfield.
Yeah.
I love his change of pace, and he's so explosive. I mean, watching him play the Commanders up close and personal. I mean, the dude has wheels. Like, he's definitely a big change of pace getting down here. So I love watching play. So I'm thinking he might have a game today for the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, that's funny. That's the thing about their offense. Almost anybody can have a game. But yeah, I like that Justice Hill pick as well.
There we go. Carita, we ain't gonna hold you long. I know you still got some work to do before the game begins. So if you want it, you can put a bow on this and give us your final thoughts on the game today. And of course, tell everybody where they can link up with you.
Yeah, so I definitely think that this is still a game that the Ravens are going to win. I don't think I don't think they should be complacent. I think that they should keep their foot on the gas like they've been doing the past couple of weeks. I think this is going to possibly be another high scoring game because the passing game has really been unlocking over the past few weeks. And like I said, with me picking the tight ends, I think that is definitely possible. So I'm still going with a Ravens win today over Cleveland. And with that, you can follow me on social media at Carita Parks on all platforms. That's where all my content is. Also, for all my Ravens coverage, be sure to follow Bowie TV Sports at Bowie TV Sports on all platforms. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Carita, we love it. Shout out to everybody who tuned in and getting you ready for the game. I'm hoping that I'm hoping you had a chance to get something to eat, kind of chill out for a little bit.
A little bit, but I'm gonna get some more. I didn't get the time to get as much as I need, but yes, but I need some coffee too.
There you go. You might can go on the concourse with that orange on. You could just go on the main concourse and get some.
I can do whatever I want to here.
No, Carita, I appreciate. No, absolutely. And look, we appreciate it. Appreciate all the fans tuning in. Everybody, we're hoping for a Baltimore Ravens win today. And Carita, we appreciate you for locking in. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Right,
Great
Carita.
being on with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do this. All right, everybody. That was Carita Parks of Bowie TV, Ravens beat host. Listen, she gave you with the up-to-date content on the injuries. She gave you that National Tight Ends Day may be a thing, so you may want to put a few shekels on one of the tight ends, or maybe not. Who knows? But she gave us the keys for victory, talked about her fantasy plays for today, and also gave you some points of emphasis for the Baltimore Ravens that they don't want to sleep on this Cleveland Browns team. They're excited. They're motivated. They have Jameis in. Who knows what's going to happen, but we will see. So take this time, guys, to go ahead, finish up your wings, get your crab cakes completed. You have roughly 36 minutes to kick off. So make sure you get locked in and get prepared. And of course, this has been Darian D.H. Williams. Fill it in for Wole, and they'll be back for the regularly scheduled program next week right here on the Urban Sports Scene and Bowie TV. But appreciate you guys for locking in. Of course, make sure you follow me on X at DH on the mic, or also everywhere else that you can find our content, DND Football Podcast on YouTube and everywhere else, and Breaking Command. You can follow that as well. We appreciate you for locking in. And I never thought I would say this, but because I'm filling in on a Ravens show, go Ravens. Ooh, that hurt. It's okay. Of course, we appreciate you, man. Y'all enjoy today's games. Have fun, be blessed, and make it a great one. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.